Danner Boots of Portland, Oregon is probably most known for their famous Mountain Light hiking boots, or perhaps the boots which they are contracted to make with the U.S. military. But they also have some serious work style boots which take some of the classic design elements of Danner boots and incorporate them with a work boot style. That's what we're going to be looking at today. These are the Danner Bull Run 6-inch brown Cristies. We'll be going through the specs, the design features, and how they feel. As you can see, I just got these boots. I've hardly worn them at all. I've unlaced one of the boots so that we can take a look at the insides of the boot. Danners are made in the USA with imported parts. They don't specify if the leather is tanned in the United States or where some of the other components are from. This is a Vibram 4014 Cristy outsole, and it's a blown rubber outsole. It's a fairly soft compound. I'd say it compares favorably to like a Red Wing wedge outsole. Leather is a full grain and oiled leather. I would say that the quality of the leather is very good. It's a very stiff leather and seems to take on different colors with even just a little bit of flexing, and so I expect that it will take on a lot of character and patina over time, but it's also going to take some real work to break these things in because they are very stiff. These boots are 6-inch boots, and they're 56 ounces a pair according to Danner's website. They feature some of the main Danner trademark features. Specifically, I'm thinking the fairly large number of eyelets here. You've got a total of 7 eyelets for a boot that normally would probably only have maybe 5 or 6, being that it's a 6-inch boot. They do come well into the toe box area. In hiking, that's just to ensure that the boot is evenly secured on the foot, which in a work boot, of course, that feature is a good thing as well. The Vibram sole is textured. It's not a very deep sole, which I think is fine. It looks like it will be fairly slip resistant. Danner makes a point of saying that this is ASTM F289211EH certified, which means that these boots are electrical hazard safe. These soles are not conductive. Vibram has manufacturing faculties in the United States, in Brazil, and Japan, and so I'm not sure where exactly these soles came from, but they work very nicely with the design of the boot, and they are also impeccably applied to the uppers. Stitched down construction for Danner is basically Norwegian Welt. What happens is the upper leather is going to flare out where it's meeting the midsole, and the two ports are joined obviously by stitching, which is visible on the outside edge of the boot. The advantage is that this makes the boot ever so slightly wider in the edges of the boot, hence the toe, although it appears narrow, really isn't particularly narrow when you put it on. Also, the boot can be completely recrafted, and Danner goes out of their way to explain the recrafting process on their website. It's something that I never tire of seeing. The stitching overall is very, very high quality. There really aren't any visible defects. The round eyelets are also kind of a classic work boot motif, and you do have 2 quick laces up at the top of the boot. The tongue is actually not one piece. As you can see, there's an attached upper tongue here. It actually came kind of misshaped. I think eventually it will have to be kind of tucked in and carefully reshaped so that it conforms to the shape of the foot. It has just a very standard informational tag on the back of the boot explaining the components of the boot, and then on the inside it does have a cloth removable footbed. It comes with a nice little tag that says inspected by number 106. It'd be even cooler if they said who that person was. It's still nice to see that it was hand inspected. One design feature that I don't really like is the inside heel box as well as the toe box. Obviously I can't get that on the camera, is stitched and appears to be glued with some kind of fabric liner. I imagine this is to help wick sweat and keep the boots cooler to wear, but this is a construction method that is not as sturdy as using a leather footbed or a leather heel box. I think that this is going to wear out eventually at some point and will need to be sent into Danner to get replaced. One design element I like about the uppers of this boot are the wave shape in the uppers. Both of these curves brings out the shape of the boot in a nice way. You get this Danner booklet that explains the recrafting process, as well as the warranty, which is a 1-year warranty. And their little motto is on the back: crafting higher standards. Certainly appreciate the sentiment there. We also have just a simple boot tag that comes with it that just sort of explains kind of the special rationale of these boots as being work boots, and giving the different design elements of the boots. These boots retail for 180 bucks. I think that's a very good value. Definitely is coming below the price point of some of the other Made in USA boots that are out there that have a very strong reputation. One thing about these boots is, even though they do harken back to some of the traditional designs of Danner, it's not like these go back all the way to 1932. These are not like a Charles Danner design. These are not original lager boots. They're basically just taking some of the main styles of Danner and bringing them into a work boot style. So it is a reinterpretation. I think it's a good one. These boots have a fiberglass shank in the heel, so for people who are working, that's a design feature that they would be definitely interested in hearing about. Will ensure that the structure of the boot will hold up under tough conditions. It also is available in a steel toe, which some of the Red Wing Heritage boots that I've reviewed are not available in, and so someone who's actually looking to use these boots for hardcore work will be happy to hear that. These boots are 12D, and for me they're true to size. I find them fairly comfortable to wear. They're a little narrow. I wish they had that leather sole. You would feel that for sure. The leather is, again, very stiff and will take some time to break in. I guess to summarize, I would say I like the Made in USA construction, I like the classic design elements, and I like the quality Vibram soles of these boots. I don't like the cloth footbed and the cloth heel and toe box, especially for nearly $200 boots. I think that they could have gone with leather toes and heels for the liners. But overall, definitely a very high quality boot that you could rely on for a pair of sturdy work boots, and keep them for a long time because they're fully recraftable.